The red dust of the South African veldt kicks up as the horizon begins to vibrate. On one side, 10 M1A2 Abrams main battle tanks, 75-ton behemoths of depleted uranium and digital fire control systems, they are the steel predators. On the other, 50,000 Zulu Warriors, the human hurricane, organized into the legendary Impi Buffalo Horns formation. This is the ultimate confrontation between industrialized might and primal discipline. It is a clash of two different types of courage, the courage to stand inside a sealed vault of technology versus the courage to charge a monster with nothing but a cowhide shield and a short-handled Ikawa spear. To the Zulus, these are not machines, they are iron demons that breathe thunder. The M1A2 Abrams is a rolling fortress. Its Chobham composite armor is reinforced with a mesh of depleted uranium, designed to shrug off kinetic energy penetrators traveling at Mach 5. The main armament, the M256 120mm smoothbore cannon. It utilizes the M114 advanced multi-purpose amp round, which can be programmed to detonate as an airburst fragmenting shell, turning the area in front of the tank into a literal wall of tungsten shrapnel. The secondary lethality: each tank carries a Crow's common remotely operated weapon station with an M2.50 caliber machine gun, plus to 7.62mm M240 machine guns, totaling 30 machine guns across the platoon. The optics: Gen 3 thermal imaging. The tanks don't see the dust. They see the heat of 50,000 beating hearts through the smoke. Why the horde? The Zulu Impi 50, 0 men. They are the masters of the buffalo horns tactic. The chest pins the enemy, while the horns encircle the flanks. Their weapons are the Ikawa, a stabbing spear, and the Isolongu, a shield made of hardened oxhide. Their strength is absolute fearlessness. They move with a silent, rhythmic trot that can cover 50 miles in a day, and their sheer mass can overwhelm any static defense. The conflict: the Zulus operate on kinetic proximity. They must be within arm's reach to kill. The Abrams operates on ballistic geometry. The tank can engage a target from 2.5 miles away. The Zulu shield is designed to deflect a wooden spear. It has no physical coefficient to resist a 50 caliber round that carries 18,000 joules of energy. Stage 3. The first contact: early domination. The Zulu chest begins the charge, 20,000 men deep. They beat their shields, creating a sound like rolling thunder. From 3,000 yards away, the 10 Abrams tanks come to a halt. The platoon leader gives the order: canister rounds, fire at will. The result is a geometric massacre. The 120mm cannons fire M1A2 canister shells. Each shell contains 1,100 tungsten balls. It is, essentially, the world's largest shotgun blast. A single shot clears a path through the Zulu ranks 100 yards long. The Zulus see their brothers disintegrated by invisible signs. There is no glory in this contact, only the physics of high-velocity lead versus unarmored flesh. The Zulu morale, however, holds. They believe this is magic that must be exhausted. The Zulu commanders, seeing the carnage of the frontal assault, signal the horns to break and sprint. They use the rolling terrain, dipping into Donga's dry ravines to avoid the direct line of sight of the tanks. The false hope emerges as the Zulus surround the 10 tanks. They realize the big guns can't point everywhere at once. Thousands of warriors swarm the tanks, leaping onto the hulls. They jam their spears into the turret rings and the external optics. They cover the periscopes with their leather shields, blinding the crews inside. The music slows. Inside the tanks, the clanging of thousands of spears hitting the armor sounds like being inside a ringing bell. The tanks are stationary, covered in a carpet of 50,000 men. One warrior manages to wedge a spear into the engine intake. For a moment, the steel predators seem to be drowning in a sea of humanity. The tank commander initiates active defense neutralization. The Abrams don't need to see through the glass, they have external remote sensors. The 10 tanks perform a neutral steer, spinning their tracks in opposite directions. At 1,500 horsepower, the tracks become meat grinders for anyone standing too close. Simultaneously, the tanks engage coaxial saturation. The machine guns on the turrets fire in 360-degree sweeps. But the satisfaction peak comes when the tanks begin to move. The Abrams can fire accurately while traveling at 45 miles per hour over rough terrain. They break the swarm by simply accelerating. The Zulus, who are on foot, cannot keep up with the 75-ton machines. The tanks kite the army, staying just out of spear range, while the 50 calibers dismantle the horns. The Zulus try to form a final shield wall, but the Abrams simply ram through it. To the Zulu, the tank is an unstoppable beast that doesn't just kill, but crushes everything in its path. The false hope is pulverized into the red earth. Final casualty counts: Zulu Warriors, 40 to 1,000 dead, 8,000 rooted. Modern tanks, 0 lost over 1 minor engine stall. Analysis: the Abrams won because of armor composition and thermal dominance. The Zulu had no weapon, not even fire, that could penetrate the Chobham armor. The tanks utilized the OODA loop through digital networking. Each tank knew where the others were, preventing any friendly fire in the chaos of the swarm. The science of the win: it comes down to energy output. A human warrior can produce about 100 watts of power. An Abrams engine produces 1.1 megawatts. The energy disparity is 11,000 to 1. The limit is fuel JP28. An Abrams is a gas guzzler, getting less than 1 mile per gallon. If the 50,000 Zulus could draw the fight out for 10 hours by hiding in deep caves or mountains, the tanks would eventually run dry. At that point, the tanks become stationary pillboxes. They would still be impenetrable, but they would lose the ability to hunt. Question: if the Zulus had anti-tank mines hidden under their shields, could they have disabled the tracks and won? Or is 10 Abrams tanks simply too much god tech for any ancient army to handle? Tell me your strategy in the comments. Next episode: 100 modern riot police versus 10,000 French revolutionaries. Can non-lethal tech stop a true revolution? Would you like me to script the riot police versus revolutionaries battle next?